But we're going to focus in on New Jersey for right now because Bill Belichick, who's a media maven, he's got not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not – how about 8 jobs? 8 jobs, but now one of his ex-players is floating the possibility of him going right back to the NFL. That would be former Patriot wide receiver Jullien Edelman, who said one job stands above all the others, is potentially the one, particularly interesting. So we're going to see this or hear about it. Happened on our air. Edelman told the Herd, it's an overnight show for me. I sleep when that show's on. But told the Herd, Colin Cowherd there, that the New York Giants are real enticing for Belichick. So Bill would have to give up all of those cushy, grab-ass media jobs to make it happen. So keep an eye on this. Stay tuned. Developing hot, ... The question as we discuss, keep it simple. This job is not that difficult. So Jullien Edelman says the Giants coaching job is, quote, enticing for Bill Belichick. Can you explain why? All right, so I've got Happy Highway, AirPods, and Post-it notes. And we will combine all of these things together, and we'll give you oxygen to start your day, a little bit of oxygen. So to kick off here, this is what I call a retransmission or rebroadcast of a classic take by Edelman. Edelman's in the media now. When you're in the media now and you're an ex-jock, you have to give opinions. You are expected to give opinions. A lot of opinions. Now, we know that Bill Belichick, he loves to romanticize his days with the Giants. He worked for the Jets. I don't know if you know this. He was under the tutelage of Bill Parcells, an NFL legend, and still to this day, Bill Belichick worships Lawrence Taylor. Throws rose petals, verbal rose petals about Lawrence Taylor all the time. Now, that said, from a football standpoint, the job blows. It's a bad job. The Giants is a bad job. It's the headless horseman. They're going to get rid of Daniel Jones. They don't have a quarterback. They're chronic underachievers. They've had years of high draft picks, and none of them seem to work out. It's a roster filled with flotsam and jetsam. But Bill Belichick, that's a gig that you say we'd take, and everyone agrees he would take that job because it happens to reside on his happy highway, the I-95 corridor. That is the happy highway for Bill Belichick, and you mix in talking about what used to be for the Giants back in the glory days when he was there, the perfect ingredients. But from a talent standpoint, the job that Belichick would rather have, because he's chasing Don Shula's record for wins, you'd rather have the Eagles' job. Is that job going to open up? Well, they beat the Packers. That's a good start, right? It's going to be judged in the playoffs. Nick Sirianni. We'll see what they do. They don't play till Monday. They play the team from the ATL. The Jets also. Although that's a little more complicated because for now, Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback. Now, furthermore, speaking of Belichick's former team and Edelman's former team, the Patriots, there was this long, winding road, this never-ending column, very wordy, about how upset Robert Kraft to try to get into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It hasn't worked. Your thoughts also in that same story. The Patriots boss, Robert Kraft, is said to be pissed off that Cowboys owner Jerry Jones is in the Hall of Fame. So this whole thing is hilarious. Now, did I read the whole story? No. I fell asleep midway through it. But I read most of it, and I got enough information out of it. I know the gist of it. So you have tension in the Billionaire Boys Club. That's what you need to know. You've got aristocrat on aristocrat crime. You got a guy like Robert Kraft who's looking around the room here at the other owners when they get together. He's looking around here, and it's absolutely driving him nuts. He needs some meds, Robert Kraft, because Jerry Jones is the media darling. Jerry Jones, and he had the party bus, and he's had his shenanigans. There was this woman accusing him of being the child out of, the illegitimate child of Jerry Jones, and there was that legal case and all that stuff. But yet Jerry continues to maintain the popular vote. And that annoys Robert Kraft, who is now 83 years old, and he's got one box left to check. And so in his AirPods, when he has his AirPods on, when he's at the Orchids of Asia Day Spa, he has his AirPods and he cranks up the volume and he plays that Will.I.am tune, Hall of Fame. That's the song that he wants, right? Yeah, and he goes through the lyrics and all that. And it's the brightest flame, and the world's going to know your name and all that stuff. And you get to a certain point, you're like, well, nobody visits cemeteries, right? Person dies, you visit maybe a few times when they first die, and then after that, you don't go back. Most people are like that. And the halls of fame are like cemeteries, but people actually pay money to go to them. Right? There's people that actually pay money. So you want to get into that, right? Because you die, they bury you, whatever, and no one visits you. That's it. All right? But Robert Kraft, to think that he's been on this campaign trail, this whistle-stop tour with football scribes who vote for the Hall of Fame, the man is worth over $11 billion at this point. And he cannot get the password to give him access to the speakeasy. That is the Hall of Fame. Cannot do it. And in that very wordy story that outlined the overbearing nature of the campaign, which included PR hacks sending football writers who vote for the Hall of Fame the book from Robert Kraft that he was a party to, and he made this documentary that made him seem like the greatest thing in the world and trashed Bill Belichick and all that stuff. So the general sense that I got, my takeaway from the story, is that Robert Kraft has just been laying it on too thick. He's been boasting a little bit too much, trying to seem more appealing to the voters, and taking himself way too seriously. It's off-putting. It's off-putting. All right, last thing here. So where are you at on the latest fallout from the JETS suck, the Jets? Aaron Rodgers, who gave advice to his team saying to stay relaxed. That's what he said. Rodgers' advice is, hey, listen, the Jets have to just stay relaxed. So this is like going to the movies. Like, I saw that movie. I think I've seen that movie. I've seen it a couple times. I like the movie. I'm going to watch it again, but I've seen that movie. This is a re-release of an old movie from the Wild Blue Yonder. Another one of those stories. I've been doing this job long enough that this goes back. I hearken back to the days of the frozen tundra, where the cheese curds are hot and the football is cold. And what Rodgers did here, I have determined after a minutes-long investigation, Aaron Rodgers went back to his Post-it notes, and he said, okay, I get the R, the E, the L, the A, and the X. Put those all together, and what do you get? That's right, relax. He's got to relax. That's all you have to do. We used to lampoon Rodgers. There's a drop somewhere in the system of Rodgers saying, relax. Like that. We used to goof on Rodgers for years and played that. But spoiler alert, it is the position of the Ben Maller Show, the number one overnight show on Fox Sports Radio when no one's listening. It is our position that the Jets sucked at a time you cannot suck because they were too relaxed. They were too relaxed. It looked like they were getting roofies the way they played there. No gusto, nothing. Nothing. They needed smelling salts to wake them up. So I would say the opposite is required, that the Jets need to play with more perseverance, more gumption. That's what they need to play with.